Today I said I didn't know if I was going to stream, but what's up? Welcome to another edition of XFeed. Morning. Feeling very spicy. Feeling very, very spicy today. So it's going to be a little bit of a different tonage. Last night, I wasn't feeling the energy. Funny how like the market reacts to certain things and probably what I ate in the day and if I did anything. But with that being said, what's up? My name's Schiller. I've been covering NFTs for the past couple of years, but more specifically this last year. I've been doing these daily live streams, and I want to go and towards the end of this, the final thing we'll wrap up with is going through all of the different thumbnails, titles, and whatnot from back in January when we first started to where we are now, kind of recapping some of the events that happened just off of the thumbnails and titles. So very excited to do that. Today, we're talking about conviction. Today, we're talking about decentralization. Today, we're talking about everything blockchain related. And starting off with somebody who was a YouTube content creator, and they did Halo gameplay, and I guess a hacker got into their account and changed it to Ripple live streams. Now, this is something that is almost like a pandemic, to be totally honest. I have a friend that I actually know. We did a Top Shot stream way back in the day, Rabbi, that also had this exact same situation happen to him. Luckily, he was able to get in contact and get his channel back. However, in the case of Alex, it's seeming like that is not going to be the case. They're getting like permanently banned, or there's no access to all the videos. And it's like, damn, 6 years they've worked on building out a channel to have it then completely removed based on a system that has kind of a leader, something that's centralized, that you're able to just yank something off of there that is not anything that's actually bad. Now, it's super crappy this happened to them in the first place, but shows the need for decentralization and systems that are a little bit different than the ones that we are operating here on as of right now. So when we talk about conviction, Blue Prom here showcasing their Cool Cats collection. These are trading at about 2 ETH per, $6,000. It's insane. They laughed at me. They did. Cool Cats were at 0.3, about $1,000, like 2-3 weeks ago on the stream. We might have even gone across it. I hovered it. I was like, maybe we go out and we buy a Cool Cat. Now trading for that amount more. And this is where I keep going on about conviction and different things, because you could see something that other people's might not, and it's also a matter of time as well. Yo, Mr. Harry Swan. Yo, Harry, how many Cool Cats do we have? Listen, Blue Palm had real conviction. It's funny though, because like there's certain people that only post about a certain collection, right? And Terps will use you as an example, where I always see you post about World of Women, and whenever World of Women pops off, I'll be like, listen, I saw Terps on the timeline before anybody else. They had conviction. But I think one of the interesting components here is that, is this something that is one of the rising tide lifts all boats? And sure, we can say the crypto market and everything else, but there's so much speculation around NFTs, and particularly legacy NFTs, where they're still around, the teams are still building, they have something going for them. A lot of collections that launched during the bear market over the past 2 years didn't get the same amount of traction, or it's still kind of working towards it, but there is this notoriety from a lot of them, and with the tokens potentially coming into play for a couple of them, it is kind of spicy. You have 0 now, Sag. Harry Swan, pour one out for the boys. Drew! All right, let's move on here. So somebody was asking about Milk Token, right? Because we have a new speculation around Cool Cats, which we'll get into. Actually, let me kind of jump towards the end here for the way I have this set up. I mucked it up. So within one of the Cool Cats episodes, which we watched on here, we didn't realize the alpha was hidden in plain sight, where they had these tokens, right? They were doing meme coins, and it was kind of funny, right? We didn't really think anything of it at the time, but now we got Klon, the artist and founder of Cool Cats, and the account itself resharing that episode, right? So now all the talk is around Cool Cats doing a token, but they had one before. And this is something that's kind of a problem within the space, where I think a lot of people are caught up on whatever has happened before, where there's almost no room for anyone to improve, iterate, etc. It's always just beat the tar out of them, because everybody likes FUD. But Cooltopia and Milk was getting sunset, and this happened back in, I mean, there's no date on this. Well, it says July 2023. So as many of you have heard, we recently announced our decision to sunset our Cooltopia game and its associated token Milk. This decision allows us to prioritize resources and energies toward delivering enhanced gaming experiences with our strategic partners. Cooltopia and Milk token were introduced in early 2022 as part of the Cool Cats ecosystem, with a specific focus on cool pets questing and later cat gathering and boss battles. As we continue to work towards building Cool Cats into a global character and storytelling brand, it is imperative that we align our company efforts to support this vision holistically. Now, was this on Polygon before? I'm trying to remember back in the day what exactly it looked like. Because Milk didn't really get a whole lot of traction. It kind of did initially, but then like the use case for it and just everything. And so I wasn't shocked that they kind of sunset it. And it does suck for anybody that kind of went out and got a whole bunch of them. But I mean, I feel like Cool Cats is on the right train. And also what's funny is like with all the whole meme coin raise, we had like the Cool Cats meme generator come out and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of funny. They have a meme coin for the meme generator because otherwise you have to pay like $3.99 for credits or whatever it is, right? So, yo, Terps and Harry know the goods. It's on Polygon. All right. Beautiful. So that's a recap on the Milk token from before. Again, I kind of think it's one of those things that we're going to see a lot of teams go out there, try, fail certain things, and at least they're still building, right? It's a comparison game out there. We can say the same thing about like Artifact of, hey, well, I mean, they tried to do certain things, it didn't fail, and then it shut down. I mean, that's worse than Cool Cats closing a certain component of that to try to focus on other things, and that worked out. Okay, so Truth Labs. Listen, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out on the deep end, right? We're gonna go on the deep end, swim with the sharks here. So Truth Labs is somebody that's put out a wild amount of resources and deep dives into certain things, and he was talking about Ben.eth, which is somebody who just launched a ton of tokens, and it was like insane. But apparently, to the point of being a part of like the Ben token, Psyop, Pepe, goes all the way down here to all these different ones. And when you think about in the earlier days for NFTs, there was all this notion that it was still just one team putting out a lot of these different NFTs, and that ended up being the case. And I was reminded of certain stories back in the day where Floyd Mayweather, if you guys remember the Floyd Mayweather NFT, let me try to bring that up here. It's like Floyd's World or something. Floyd Mayweather NFT. See if we can bring it up because I think there was like a few different collections that were out there. DAP Radar article from 22, a boxing legend Floyd Mayweather promotes NFT scam. Phenomenal. Love to hear that on the timeline. Okay, so this was something, Floyd's World, that got 102 ETH in volume, which isn't insane, but respectable enough. There was also apparently these Floyd Mayweather Juniors, and at the time, the artist for this was a part of a collection called Bulls on the Block. So Bulls on the Block. Let's go over and we'll kind of do like a little bit of a side to side here. Okay, so we have kind of like an angling arc of the character, right? And you can look between the two collections, and when you put them in that kind of fashion, you can be like, all right, like, I can see this is done by the same artist. And the artist name was Rui Duarte. And Rui Duarte was actually two different people. And he came out on a live stream saying, yeah, I'm working with like a manager. And so if you were talking to Rui Duarte, it might have been two of us, but the person I was working with then left. And this was the first time, well, maybe not the first, but it was like, there's a lot of random ass shit that's happening in the background of these things. What in the halibut is going on? And that was just for the artist itself, right? And that's, that's neither here nor there. And that was them building out Bulls on the Block, but then obviously got hired to be connected with Floyd Mayweather. And so they were preaching, saying, listen, we got Floyd Mayweather coming on a Spaces. It's going to be great. So these guys get onto a space, and some boneheaded bim whatever is like just going off about, man, there's all these celebrities out here and they do all these cool things, but like most of them are scams. Floyd's not like that. This collection is different. Look at all the other horrible things that are in the space, and just going on. It's like nobody needs to say anything, right? We're all there. You can talk about literally whatever you want. And this guy's going on ripping on other celebrities saying, yeah, Floyd's going to make it. And so that goes on for about like 45 minutes to the point that like I get up on the stage and I'm like, what's going on? What are we doing? And then they have some handler, somebody that comes out and they're like, sorry guy, Floyd's on like a plane right now. He's not going to be able to attend. And it's like, okay, this guy doesn't have Wi-Fi on a plane apparently. Or you guys all completely lied about this, trying to get the collection attention. Now, the collection itself was supposed to get like signed boxing gloves, signed various things out there. And yeah, after that, basically all trust was lost within the collection, but kind of funny to think about. And there's a lot, listen, there's a lot more stories out there that are just insane. And yo, Jeremy, what's going on? Talia, how we doing? Okay, monthly NFT sales volume has hit 636 million in December so far, marking the biggest monthly total since April. Bravo, bravo. Terps bought so many World of Women that we got the most OpenSea volume since April. True. With 11 days left in December, do you think total sales will crack 1 billion this month? I mean, I don't know. If we were going to go and track, and I think this would be cool to see, like, I don't necessarily love following like an individual wallet, but let's say everyone that got the Pengu airdrop, if there was a way to tell, okay, how many people that sold that, what did they route it into? Right? Where did some of that allocation go to? And I feel like there would be like a majority kind of deal. Like I'd imagine the spacing of what they got was wildly different across the space, but there's still going to be a majority of some sort. And same thing with Magic Eden, which community collection, I mean, even chain, right? Was it ordinals? Was it ETH NFTs? Was it Solana NFTs from the Magic Eden airdrop? Which ones of these were focused on what collections? And so now that we got the OpenSea thing, which we'll get to in a momentaro, well, where does all of that capital flow? Yatsiu from Animoca Brands announced its results ending Q3 with a whole bunch of stuff. But okay, so when I was reading through this, where post this reporting period, the company notes that as of November 2024, it recorded a marked increase of approximately 40% in the value of its crypto asset balances and its doubling of revenue from market making and trading activity. So this is something that's interesting when they're talking about market making. And a while back, I made a video and we've played it a few times where they talked about how they were going to like integrate some of the featureverse tokens with it. And, you know, hearing them talk about market making, like we had a huge jump in some of the tokens for basically no reason. And like, okay, we can say maybe it was the market as a whole, but I'm curious how much of a realm Animoca is playing with market making and specifically different NFTs that are associated within Animoca one way or another. So again, Animoca having a good year, which is good. If the market picks back up, Animoca is going to get paid attention to. Okay, Pix on chain, not to be confused with the Pix puppies, not to bring up any PTSD, excuse me. But yeah, so these are NFTs and they're tokens. And they're like, anything you notice, what are the discrepancies? And I'm like sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, the Cool Cat Milk token, like that was sunset. So that makes sense, right? Like when we compare these ones, okay, like that token's no more. So that's why it's so small, but they're still including it for whatever reason. But then at the bottom here, they have Azuki, Doodles, Girison, and Creeps. So Creeps was something that was similar to the Genesis Cyberkongs that were printing an enormous amount of crypto per day. And the token had like a decent amount of value. I genuinely don't know what Jirasan is. But also for Creeps, they're saying like they don't have a token. Did Creeps not have a token, or am I completely losing my mind here? I was positive Creeps were going for like 6 to 8 ETH at one point, and it was all because of a token yield, but maybe it was some different token. Anyway, but when you look at these, right, and you compare across the board of like Pudgy Penguin at 680 mil for their market cap of tokens. And so like Azuki, all right, it's like 100-ish plus mil difference for Azuki, and same with Doodles, another 100 lesser, but I mean, that would put that at like several 100 million market cap for their separate tokens and coins. And everything's been flying, right? Like Azuki's way up there. Doodles is way up there. As soon as Doodles made the announcement, which we'll get to again, Cool Cats and Doodles both did their like coin announcement on exactly the same day. Same with OpenSea, and then Pengu just did it. Like we talked about a month ago about how it's going to be insane, and all these drops were going to happen. And listen, where the profit? I mean, it wasn't just me, right? There's a lot of people on the timeline saying the same thing, and this isn't news by any means. A lot of people were hinting at a big Q4, but it seems like all of that emphasis is putting towards the end here of December. So OpenSea weekly volume up 100 million for the first time in 18 months. We are back, and it's because Terps is buying World of Women. True. So the Genesis tokens, guys, we got to talk a little bit about OpenSea here. So we had a little bit of speculation, and we might be completely wrong with it. Imagine that. Schiller being wrong. Happens a lot. That being said, the Genesis NFTs were a NFT that were dropped right after OpenSea acquired gem.xyz. And gem.xyz was kind of like an NFT aggregator that was just like a good tool to use. So OpenSea went out and acquired them. We've seen a lot of various acquisitions, the likes of like Token Proof technology being acquired by Yuga. The list can go on. Anyway, something to note, there's 0% creator earnings on these. And when you read the description of these, right, heralding the dawn of NFT power users. OpenSea Pro unlocks a new level of optionality, selection, and control for Pro NFT collectors. Previously known as GEM, OpenSea Pro has been months in the making, culminating in the platform's rebirth as the most powerful marketplace aggregator. Commemorating our community's journey, we are releasing Gemesis. A thank you to GEM community members who have steered the ship with us. This limited edition collection encapsulates our evolution, celebrates our community, and embodies the exciting road ahead. So, reading that, you're like, right, what are we doing? Oh, yes, they should add parallel into that, right? At 547 mil, Avatar is at 21. Yeah, it's holy smokes. That's a huge discrepancy. My goodness, you are right. But reading the OpenSea Genesis here, there's not really like okay, like that's interesting. It's cool. But when we're saying celebrate, does that mean like celebrate good airdrops? Come on. You know what I'm saying? So there was this AI agent called AI XBT. You've probably seen it all over the timeline. We've covered it before. And back on the 30th of last month, they made a post saying OpenSea launching the OpenSea token with Gemesis next month. Market liquidity actually makes sense this time, given how many wallets interacted in 2020 and 2022. And so Mike asks, is one Gemesis NFT is a good enough as having multiple Gemesis NFT, or having multiple Gemesis NFT will have more of an advantage? So then this bot responds, which everybody kind of takes this as face value, saying multiple Gemesis gives you access to higher tiers. It's not linear, but having at least 3 is optimal for what's coming. So that's like that. For a AI agent that has put a lot of valuable insights just generally about stats on the market, things that are happening, that, most people generally look at that as a fact. And so on that same day, because I was going back, because I made a post about it a little bit earlier, and I was like, hold on, let me do a little bit of DYOR. Somebody said, LOL, Gemesis was given to gem.xyz users, not OpenSea.io users, and it wasn't dropped last month. You're wrong. And so the bot responds, my bad on the Gemesis claim. Bad intel on that one. Doesn't change that OpenSea token makes sense given the user base they had. So is that retracting what they're saying regarding the Gemesis token, or what exactly does that mean? Right. And I've seen other posts, and I'd have to go back to see it, to be totally honest. Because I feel like it's mentioned the Gemesis more times than just this. But this is something where, if it is, that's huge. But if not, well, they're like selling for $300 a pop right now. So if you got a couple, maybe you're able to dump her, if you will. So this is wild speculation, not financial advice by any means, but I had a thought this morning after seeing, and this is why the title is all about conviction, because we've seen cool cats, doodles, and everything else under the sun absolutely run. So let me read this and we can digress. You'll call me a fool, but you look like a bigger fool doubting doodles at the bottom around $5,000, and now they're running to $25,000 a pop. Imagine if you went out and bought like 15,000 of them a couple weeks ago. Like almost 100K. Insane. Cool cats, we're at 1,000, now going for 6,000. And so listen, we got to talk a little bit about the fluffle. We're getting Captain McDonald put out there saying that root for fluffs, they're going to get 1,000 root for the Christmas bonus. And so at basically $1,000 per fluff, if root ever hits $1, these are technically free. And so, this is throwing it out there. We talk about, okay, it's like 30 cents a fluff right now. All right, listen, disregard that. And also, I don't think that's right. But somebody else saying if root hits $1, it's a very big statement in there. And so this is where we really have to have kind of like a wide scope. And I would even argue in this original post, because Jeremy's here, parallel avatars, I think were trading for like nothing at one point. And then they rocketed to like over an ETH. And then you got the Prime, you got why am I forgetting? The Prompt token that's coming up as well. You have all these things. And it's because people don't realize how much is going on unless you're really focused on certain collections and kind of the give and take. And so I've been a little bit of a doubter regarding Gala because there's been so many things that have just gone really weirdly, from the likes of them charging like $11,000 plus for a couple of NFTs from like a notable name, to all of their NFTs in general just charging an absolute arm and a leg. Just very weird things where they continually always like sell, and it doesn't seem like the ecosystem really has a whole lot going for them. They've launched like, I don't know, 10 different games, and half of them have like shut down. They've rebranded. They're selling more nodes for other things. And it's all this chaos, but it's got a market cap that's insane of like 1.4 billion. So I'm like, okay, well, if Root can remotely do what Gala's doing, which I don't think so, and I've followed that for 4 years, or sorry, I didn't think that Gala would get to the heights that it did. I mean, that puts it at $1. And then if you want further verification of the potential for this, and right, this is all a potential speculation across the space. We can say the same thing for, I mean, the Pengu token's already like way up there, but do you say, oh no, Pengu's not going to hit like 10 trillion, which would be like a 10x from where it is right now? That's totally possible. All this stuff is completely possible. When you look and say, oh my God, there's like random companies that have a market cap that are the same of some of these massive cryptos that we are all focused on thinking they're going to be huge. And the whole notion of going from 3 trillion to 100 trillion in the next, 7 years or whatever. I mean, let's have a little bit of spunk. And so OpenSea, they announced their OpenSea Foundation as of today. Ocean enters the chat. So OpenSea doing the token that I guess is going to be called Ocean. Another question we kind of have to ask about all these things is what the hell is the token purpose? If you guys remember when Blur came out, there was a speculation around, well, okay, it's a governance token. And if they turn on a fee switch for Blur, well, we're going to get all the royalties from Blur, potentially for staking Blur. And this was kind of the same concept with LooksRare way back in the day. And wait, 10 trillion Pengu? Listen. That's, hold on. Hold on. You're right. I said 1 trillion. I didn't mean that. It was at 1 billion. I meant 10 billion. I meant 10 billion, not 10 trillion. Murphy, thank you for catching me on that one. But back to the conversation at hand. OpenSea, if they launch this, what is the token utility? Is it going to be anything? Is it just straight governance tokens? I feel like all of these things are just governance tokens. And do people care about that? Or they're like, oh, it's a token, so I'm going to buy it. What's going to happen with it? But Ocean has entered the chat. All right, we got to talk about the whole Hawk Tua thing. This is like transcended everything that you can think of. There was people in the sports industry that were talking about it. There were people in the video game industry talking about it. There was people that were into gardening that were talking about it. The entire world was talking about it. Why? I have no idea, but I guess the Hawk Tua meme is that big worldwide. So she made a statement after being away for several days saying, I take the situation. Well, let me recount. So Hawk Tua, Haley Welch does this podcast and went super viral for all of this. And we've seen a lot of celebrities enter the space. And so she decided that she was going to do a token and it went absolutely horrible. It got a lot of attention on the first couple of minutes and people made some bids on it. And then the dev yanked it. The dev just rugged it, right? For a couple mil, whatever it may be. And then the timeline goes on like, well, if you bought that token, you knew that you were going to get scammed, all this kind of other stuff. And we've seen probably about 100 celebrity meme coins that have come into the space and completely flopped. A lot of them. We got Dwight Howard trying to do NFTs. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner tried doing a token. Iggy Azalea did a token, but I feel like there was a little bit more to it. I think Jason Derulo was out there doing a token. The list can go on and on. Rich the Kid, a ton of musicians. I don't know if Trippie Redd did one or if his account was hacked. I mean, half these accounts were like hacked. Like I remember Sydney Sweeney, the same time that Dwight Howard did his NFT launch, also had their social account hacked, and then somebody was like shilling a meme coin on that. Anyway, so the story that kind of came out from this, and I don't know how accurate it is, so this is hearsay for the moment being, but somebody said that she got paid like $100,000 to market the token, but then like the team obviously did everything behind it. So now we have a lot of people saying, oh, like I feel sorry for her, she didn't really know all this kind of stuff, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like the celebrity meme coin thing is like very well known for not being a good thing, and most of them failing miserably. But maybe not. So anyway, Haley's saying, I take the situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who have been affected, and the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and am committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as to help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter, which kind of sounds like I'm going to just absolutely shred the devs if I can. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Berwick Law using the link below. So I want to kind of like, have a perspective here. How many other tokens have had the exact same thing, right? The exact same thing happen. And there's been nothing done about it. The only reason this is happening is because of Yeah, are we back? Yeah, I can't tell if we're back. Hold on. Yeah, are we back? Holy jeez. Okay, I think the internet's working. I know I'm trying to check out the live stream channel. I think the internet's working. I know I'm trying to check out the live stream channel. I think the internet's working. Yo, okay. I can hear myself now. I think we're back. That's super weird. Does that like totally script the YouTube video too? Ah, okay, dude, what are we doing? Nah, that's crazy. Nah, that's crazy. Okay, we're still back. All right, cool. Oh, I closed out everything that I was going to open. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Pitch, that's funny. The time that you showed up on that, everything went completely sideways, and then some. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go back and look through all of the live streams that we did over the past year. This is this is kind of crazy because I think people forget how many things were relevant, how many things were top of mind, how many things just people don't care about anymore. So, going back all the way. So you can see on the bottom here, we started this about a year ago. Crypto NFT news, Web3 Daily. So MasterCard and Walmart. So this, I think, was a stream where we talked about how Walmart had a Web3 blockchain arms selling component of some sort that they announced but then shut down. So this might have been when we first found out about it, but I'm pretty sure that it shut down. These are some different Featureverse things. 100 plus tabs, tax losses. Crypto wallet founder loses 125,000 to fake LFG token. Phishing attack. What the hell was the LFG token? I actually don't even remember what the LFG token was. Now that I think about it. There was a free claim, I believe, for one of the ghosts, or it was very inexpensive. This is when Say NFTs were going nuts. And I think the MFer in there might have been when Gordon Goner was out there buying a zombie MFer. Yo, Navi, what's good? Yo, is everything working? We just had like an internet outage. I have no idea because nobody's telling me if we're good, but I think we're vibing. But we're going back to the past year of all the happening. So a lot of you are sticking around if you got any thoughts. So Ready Player One and Featureverse, this was announced 11 months ago. We had the stream with Yo Jeremy talking about Parallel. That was super fun. This is when I believe Gary Gensler's account got hacked, if I remember. Maybe not, because I don't know why the hell I would have used Gary Gensler's photo if that wasn't the case. This was going over when we saw Other Side and them showing off the 10,000 NFTs for Bored Ape Yacht Club. Going through, what else do we got on here? That's a RuneScape thing. Oh, when we highlighted that Colin Cowherd said NFTs were worthless, that was a phenomenal situation. And talking about Pudgy Penguins, how like a Pudgy NFT costs more than buying like a penguin. I don't even think you can go out and buy penguins, but allegedly, when you look up like the price of an actual penguin, the Pudgy penguins were selling for more than an actual penguin, and now, or at one point, they were selling more than a Bitcoin, which is kind of hilarious. When running back with you, Jeremy and JVB, yo, we got to do something good. True. We highlighted yesterday somebody talking about Zedrun, and anytime anybody talks about Zedrun, I always think of that race with JVB where he was muted, but he was wearing like the full outfit with the hat, and he was giving it a all. That was phenomenal. The Nelk Boys accused of rugging NFT. Wow. So 10 months ago, they were really kind of outed for doing the passes. I forget what exactly they were called, to be honest with you, but they said you were going to get access to gyms around the world, or at least like the US and all these other things. And then just like nothing happened with it. I know that they did like the Happy Dad BAYC collab. Now they've completely dropped all the Web3 branding relation whatsoever. Kind of crazy. 10 months ago, Pal World was the talk of the town, if you guys remember. And so everybody started comparing different Web3 games to Pal World, being like, how the hell did Pal World get this with X amount of funding when all these NFTs have quadruple the amount? What's going on? That was kind of a funny time. Scrolling on through, somebody was buying Axie Infinities for 250,000. Some of the original Genesis ones over here on the right, you can see with the thumbnail. I might need to like move this over so it's easier to see. I'm not sure the proper setup for this. Maybe we do that. Yeah. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay. Listen, we're not trying to show that right now. No cap. Okay, and then going on through. Oh, we had another one where we had Yo Jeremy and a whole bunch of other people on. That was fun. But I totally skipped through a bunch. Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes. When we talk about celebrities within the space, Patrick Mahomes tried doing Museum of Mahomes, where it was graded cards. I don't even know if they were graded, but they were like encapsulated cards, but they were also NFTs that were a part of it. Talking 10 months ago about the crypto market set to skyrocket. That ended up being the case. 10 months ago, Yuga Labs acquires Moonbirds. Wow, we've really not heard anything from that conversation back in the day. Louis Vuitton did their big box. If you guys remember, all over the timeline, there was people that got those Louis Vuitton boxes for free for advertisement purposes, but I haven't really seen a whole lot regarding those. I think they cost like $40,000 at the time, which is kind of crazy to think about. Bitcoin Surge, Raoul Paul Schilling, Mutants, We got Futureverse on here. Peter Schiff fudding everything. That's always good. Oh, yeah. And so Solana, or at least Star Atlas, somebody bought a $5 million ship for Star Atlas. Thinking about back then to now, do you feel like that is a good purchase? Do you feel like that is a bad purchase? People out there really wanting to do some crazy things. This is the Readyverse South by Southwest. I had to read the teleprompter because the feed, like, we didn't have any feed, so I just live streamed trying to read it off like I was like the person presenting it. It was that was probably one of the wildest streams we did the entire year. The I Choose Rich meme went viral, and then you had the Nick token, and then the Rich token, and then it just kind of all went to zero. That's a tough look. That is a tough look. So Starbucks Odyssey, I have that in the headline. I don't know if that's when they shut it down. Mutatio. Do you guys remember when Xcopy launched the open edition Mutatio for like $1 or a couple of cents, and then there was like 1 million of them made? I don't think anybody talks about Mutatio at all, but it was a very good onboarding effect for Coinbase, but nobody talked about it. Looking back to some of these collections, Bitcoin puppets, when they first started popping up, the photo mode where we heard for Other Side, we got a couple different things with Huddle Hill. Navi in here too, and Mr. Matty B. That was a good conversation we had. If you're interested in meme coins and all that kind of jazz, I would encourage you guys to go back to that. I think it is timestamped, so worth to see all of the other jazz. This was a collection that Harry Swan was into, but I forget what the hell that it was called. That's going to bother me. It was like an anime collection that like kind of looked like Azuki, but it was a little bit different. And also, this is when Pranksy started showcasing the Project Gray, which apparently what he traded that doodle that was the skeleton for was like 25 doodles or something, which is an insane trade. Looking at how much doodles have gone for now, very big come up for sure. Scrolling on through still, we have Ape Fest going on, Top Shot doing a couple of one-of-ones. The NFT prices, oh boy, look at this. So 8 months ago, Bored Apes were at 11.88. I want to say they're around 17 right now. Uzukis were at 4.13 ETH, now over 10. Fluff World was at 0.53, now they're at 0.3. God damn it. Pudgy Penguins were at 4.2, at a point going up to 30, but now back around the 17 mark. And Meebits, I think, are closer to 1, but they were at 0.58. That was a banger thumbnail. It's easy. And then this is when I started seeing various banks advertising about crypto after saying we hate crypto for a number of years. Kind of hilarious to see that. The Faraway acquisition, Bitcoin ATMs, all that kind of jazz. What else we got in here? The Board Jerky, when they ended up changing off of that. I need to do a better job of some of these thumbnails. Oh, so also this one might have been when the In-Betweeners, which is like the bear. If you see that bear in that, it was the Justin Bieber artist, but then they went like all in on meme coins. I feel like that was the one for that. Everyone hates these. Back when CryptoPunks tried to do the artist residency and they just got fudded to the point they just dropped the entire collab and it did not work out. The Featureverse Founders interview, that one was a fun one. If you haven't seen it, highly encourage it. The gas station cookie story. This is when we got introduced to the upselling at a gas station when they're like, "Do you want a warm cookie?" And you're like, "Hell yeah, brother." Also, when I started getting into Pokemon a little bit more, if I do remember correctly. Scrolling on through. I'm trying to see what else was kind of super relevant. I need to make these thumbnails a little bit better. Oh, this one was a huge one. So the I forget what's like night Meh. No, I don't know. But Dr. Disrespect was a part of a Dead Drop. Dead Drop. It's in the friggin' thumbnail. Dead Drop was a NFT first person shooter that was connected to Dr. Disrespect. And in that hoopla of him getting accused for certain things, if you remember, I don't think anything came of it, but they dropped him. And he was like their entire marketing agency. Everybody only knew that game because Dr. Disrespect was involved. So he dropped them, or sorry, they dropped him. And I haven't seen that collection talked about whatsoever. 5 months ago, still talking about heavy metal, which is kind of crazy to think about way back when. What else do we have? The interview with Pixel Vault and Mr. VGF. Metropolis, when we got the first looks at other side, the ASM 2.0 white paper, they were good. Some good buttery croissants. Those are always phenomenal. Doodles Arizona Iced Tea, Gear and Labs from XRPad, an artifact reveal, I believe, in the top left. Forgotten Rooneyverse we saw on the page. Doodles coming out with their record with Pharrell was only like 4 months ago. Well, I don't know if that record came out 4 months exactly. It must have, because if I made that as like the thumbnail, I want to feel like it was like the talk of the day, but I feel like it might have actually come out on that time. Extreme Fear. Listen, 4 months ago, we were in Extreme Fear and the market's pretty much gone like up only, which is really, really crazy. The Ripple settlement going on through. One of the Fidenza sold for almost $1 million, where the other day, so this is insane, right? So in this top right here, you can see the thumbnail of like the Cool Cat. There's the Genkai, and there's a sale total of $798,000 US. And that was for a Fidenza. There was one at an auction 2 days ago that went for, I think, like $70,000 or $80,000. So maybe that Fidenza that sold for almost $1 million was worth a lot. Maybe there was some kind of special treat. Insane to see the discrepancies between the different prices. FaZe Banks also 3 months ago going out and saying that everything's going to be in the metaverse, shopping malls, yada, yada, yada. OpenSea getting the Wells notice was also 3 months ago, but that's been completely forgotten about entirely. Dullsville and the Doodleverse first episode. If you guys haven't seen that, would love for you to go check that out. It's just Dullsville and the Doodleverse. If you go to the end of that, we just kind of play the whole stream, or at least the first episode. We were super optimistic. We got Cool Cats episodes, The Third Kingdom. Yo, Matty B betting $40,000 on TTK. Holy sheesh, that's crazy. There's a $10,000 almost NBA Top Shot sale for that one. Insanity playing on the Dookie Dash Cup. And the ending for that, like the season 1 for Dookie Dash, is like happened or it's coming soon. We haven't really heard a whole lot about that. And then just kind of scrolling through these final ones. CZ was going to jail like a month ago, or at least he got out of jail, one or the other. Just a lot of random things. I mean, Artifact shutting down here. That's insanity. FUD everywhere. NFTs back on the menu. We got today's stream. It's just an entire year of calamity and destruction. You can go back and watch all of it. Look at that. Got to stream almost for every single day. But that's going to do it for this edition of XFeed. Apologies for the technical delay. I have no idea. Last night, the internet was acting super funky, and apparently it is today as well. But thank you for tuning on in, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal Christmas break. Again, I'm not really sure what the stream schedule is going to look like for the break. If things happen, we'll cover it. And if not, well, we'll see you at some point. Anyway, thank you so much. Yo, Derby, Abdali, Pitark, Navi, Ball and Derps, Mr. Harry Swan.